Jinder Mahal talks the racist promo Vince McMahon made him do, an update on AEW's TV Future, a joint WWE and TNA show coming soon, and more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. At the very start of 2024, the most talked about wrestler in the world wasn't The Rock or Will Ospreay or Cody Rhodes. It was the returning former WWE champion, Jinder Mahal, after a trolling bait-and-switch setup angle on the Day 1 Raw, which led to Rock the Dwayne Johnson coming out instead to cut his foreshadowing "Where shall I get dinner" promo, the answer being, at that time, from Cody Rhodes' plate. Weirdly, despite the wrestling return of one of the most famous people in the world, us wrestling fans mostly spent that month still talking about Jinder, as he became a focal point of the AEW vs WWE tribalism. When Tony Khan said there was a double standard, that fans were fine with Mahal getting a world title match against Seth Rollins on Raw, a match that injured Rollins, nearly taking him out of WrestleMania, when there was a noisy part of Twitter criticizing Hook challenging Samoa Joe for the AEW world title. Back then, Jinder was limited by his WWE contract over how he could reply, but no longer, as after being released in April, he has posted, "Hindered no more, 90 days are up." Jinder is now wrestling under the name Raj Desi, where, if there's any justice in the world, Chris Jericho should bring him in as an opponent for Hook in their feud. To promote his free agency, Jinder has released an interview with Chris Van Vliet, where he expressed regret over his part in one of the late 2010s most controversial angles. Vince McMahon had several wrestling character archetypes he would try to make happen with various wrestlers over the years, no matter how dated the ideas or how ill-suited the wrestlers were to play them. Archetypes like the monstrous brute with a really high IQ, the sexy blonde woman who knows it, and Roman Reigns as a babyface. And for Jinder's infamous run as WWE champion in 2017, Vince dusted off one of the worst, the foreign heel. Only this time, he went one further by having the foreign heel cut a promo mocking another country's accent. It's double racism! During his feud with Shinsuke Nakamura, Jinder and the Singh brothers laughed at photos of Shinsuke, made jokes about Japanese food, mocked the way Nakamura said the word "look," and referred to him as Mr. Miyagi, the character from the Karate Kid films. The fans in the building chanted, "That's too far," which prompted mainstream news outlets like the Washington Post to report on the story. WWE then chose not to upload that particular segment to YouTube. At the time, PW Insider reported there was a lot of conversation about the angle backstage, and now in Jinder's interview with Van Vliet, we know a part of those talks was Mahal trying to get the segment changed. Here's a clip from the interview.
So that day, I had the promo, I got the script from the writer. This is from Vince. He wants you to say this. I was like, oh man, I don't want to say, like, is there anything else we can do? He said, no, it's come from Vince. So I even asked Vince, like, this is going to get negative backlash. He said, no, don't worry, who cares? It's not you, it's a character, it's just entertainment. So did the promo, was not happy with it, not proud of myself for doing it. Really wish that I could take that moment back, but fortunately I can't. And right when we came back, it got a lot of negative backlash. Like, I remember coming back from Gorilla. I was still hanging out by Gorilla, and one of the social media managers came up to me and said, hey, like, this is getting a lot of bad PR, and Vince wants to write, like, for you to tweet something, like a statement. I said, okay, cool. And he actually wrote, he came up with something, maybe the PR team wrote it, he came up with a statement. And as we were about to tweet it, he said, actually, Vince changed his mind. He said, no.
Let's take the heat.
Yeah.
We've got a link to Chris's full interview with Jinder in the video description below. Jinder actually lasted longer in WWE than McMahon in the end, with Vince resigning in January due to Janelle Grant's lawsuit accusing the company founder of sexual trafficking. Updates on Vince since have been focused around various legal filings from his and Grant's lawyers. And that one totally normal CNBC article that contained the paragraph, "On an afternoon in late March, McMahon returned on a private plane to the United States from the sunny Turks and Caicos Islands. But he wasn't alone, according to a person close to him. He had with him 7 kittens and a puppy, all of which he brought back to be adopted by his friends." Now, Going Ringside has spoken to Linda McMahon at the Republican National Convention, asking how the McMahon family is doing, to which she replied, "We're all doing great. Thank you. doing great. Someone else who's doing great. Really awkward segue from Vince McMahon stuff into TV ratings news is Tony Khan on this week's episode of Dynamite. The special 250th episode gambled on staging a 1-hour match between MJF and Will Ospreay for the international title, and it paid off, with WrestleNomics reporting the show pulled in 795,000 viewers and a .27 rating. These are massively up from last week's numbers of 691,000 viewers and a .23 rating. It's their best rating number for over a month and their highest overall viewership since March. The 1-hour match in particular was a success. The reason Khan is giving away such big, risky matches on TV is because AEW is approaching a vital deadline in their negotiations with Warner Bros. Discovery, as their exclusive window is almost up, meaning AEW will be allowed to talk to other partners. But however great AEW make their product, it might not matter if WBD's overall strategy changes. WBD is still laden with billions of dollars of debt following the merger of Warner Bros. And Discovery. Additionally, their streaming service Max is losing money. This has prompted the company to cut 1,000 jobs this week and have discussions over where their future focus lies. Wrestling Observer Radio reports this could be a good thing for AEW, as because Max is losing money, WBD might invest in TV, which is where Dynamite, Rampage and Collision currently have their worth. The TV part of their business is still profitable, but the Financial Times is reporting there's early discussions about splitting WBD in two. One with television and streaming, which will also hold the debt, and the other for its movies, which will give that more flexibility to invest in growth. It's unknown whether this will happen and how it will affect WBD's offer to AEW, although I would speculate it's an optimistic sign. TNA Slammiversary takes place tomorrow, Saturday the 20th, and Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace has teased to Sports Illustrated the surprises are going to be even bigger than people realise. TNA and NXT do surprises better than any other promotion. I don't think anyone can argue that. If you're tired of accidentally reading spoilers, watch Slammiversary. Our goal is to make fans fall back in love with wrestling. I can't wait for such huge NXT stars as Izzy Dane to show up. Contrary to Moose's recent interview, where he called the WWE relationship the best partnership TNA has ever had, TNA has sent their Knockouts champion Grace, who lost at the PLE, and big stars Kaz and Joe Hendry. Meanwhile, the other way, NXT has sent Tatum Paxley, Charlie Dempsey, and Wes Lee. And those NXT stars have almost always beat the TNA ones, no matter which show they're on. Like on the Slammiversary Go Home episode of Impact last night, where NXT's No Quarter Catch crew beat the TNA team of Kushida, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz. Perhaps that's about to change with TNA's biggest show since the partnership started, Slammiversary, a show that traditionally debuts a bunch of wrestlers who are released by WWE after WrestleMania, so it's a nice change that they'll still actually have their jobs. Perhaps it's all building to something even bigger though. WWE and TNA's full version of AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door. As Grace also told Sports Illustrated, "My dream is to have a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. I think that's going to be a slow build, and the world probably isn't ready. But when it happens, they're going to see TNA beat NXT." Let me know in the comments, and just remember, I've heard, even if you write his name, just once, even if you write his name, he still appears. Joe Hendry. Luke is relaunching our movie channel Cutscene today with a deep dive on how Disney lied to you about what really happened with Toy Story 2. Go watch it now. Here's a clip.
There's a movie.
Thanks to Eli, my newborn baby Eli, and my need to work from home, we had a backup of Toy Story 2.
This is a story you've probably all heard before. The legend of how an unnamed member of staff at Pixar accidentally ran a line of code that deleted Toy Story 2 months away from its release date, and how Galen Sussman saved the movie thanks to having a backup at her house from her maternity leave. That clip wasn't just on the Toy Story 2 DVD, it's available to watch on Disney Plus as an extra right now. It's a story that most movie fans know. It's a story of legend. One of Pixar's best and most beloved movies nearly lost to time due to one line of code. But here's the thing, it's not entirely accurate.